It's another dream fulfilled. It's a soccer-specific stadium for Orange County's professional team. Tonight, the battle for playoff position intensifies. It's Phoenix and Orange County next. One of the great games of the United Soccer League season this year, played between these two sides not too long ago, but now it's a new home for Orange County. Welcome to Orange County Great Park, where tonight the USL Game of the Week features Orange County SC and Phoenix Rising. And with that, we say hello to you for the first time alongside the former Virginia Tech Hokie Morgan Conklin. Mike Watts, glad to have you with us for this one. And for Phoenix, one of the big stars is not playing tonight, no Didier Drogba, but Jason Johnson is going to have a big role to fill on the wing in his stead.
And it's not a bad person to have to rely on. Jason Johnson tied for the team lead with 5 goals with Didier Drogba. He's an aggressive, wide player who hadn't scored since July 15th, but their last game against RGV, he netted a PK in that game. He's going to be very important tonight, especially out wide.
Johnson has been enormous in the face of injuries throughout the season so far. On the other side, big piece for Orange County has been their goalkeeper, Charlie Lyon.
And speaking with Logan Paz about Charlie Lyon, he said he's not surprised by his performances, but amazed. Save after save, game after game, he continues to come up big for this Orange County team. Logan Paz has been preaching consistency with his team. That's been the guy that's brought most of it.
A tremendous performance during the midweek against Tulsa, kept it 0-0. How did he keep that one out? Here's the lineup for Phoenix Rising. Again, no Drogba tonight, and a couple players are out on suspension.
Right, Drogba is questionable with a groin injury, not in the 18 tonight. Keep an eye on Alessandro Rigi. It's his 4th game back after a knee injury earlier this season. He already has 1 goal in the 3 games that he's played since he's been back. Wide on that flank, matched up against a different Orange County formation, the wide play will be really key tonight.
On the other side for Orange County, 2 fullbacks. This is really a 5-back system.
And Logan Paz felt that he needed to and wanted to attack the flank areas tonight. In doing so, he set those 2 players wide, Muse, Asua. They're players who can get forward and are great in attack, but also strong defensively, so they're going to have to work hard both games all night long.
They're hoping to get their offense back on track. Just 2 goals scored in the last 5 games for Orange County. Can a new home bring them some new mojo? For Phoenix Rising, they've played the fewest games in the league, so this one really matters. The action comes your way next.
There's a moment in life when time stops. When you need someone you trust by your side. For the last 60 years, Hogue has been there. From a first footprint to life throwing a curve, our mission is to continue being the name you turn to. You've trusted us to bring your sons and daughters into the world. And across generations, as your family has grown, so has Hogue's. With a network of doctors, hospitals, urgent cares, and health centers, providing the highest standard of care to our patients. We've never lost sight of our mission to lead the way with state-of-the-art facilities, top flight physicians delivering superior outcomes, standing among the nation's finest, becoming your loyal health partner for life. It's an honor to be there in your time of courage, hope, and triumph. Hogue for life.
Cal South is the official state association for soccer in Southern California with 154,000 youth players. We have soccer opportunities for all ages and skill levels. Our recreational leagues focus on creating a balanced and competitive setting. The Cal South Pro Plus program is the most progressive, inclusive, and successful youth player identification system in the U.S. Visit calsouth.com, connect, and join us. Cal South, excellence in soccer.
Irvine, California, the site. This is Orange County Great Park and Champions Soccer Stadium. Day one of a new era in Orange County soccer. They prepare to take on Phoenix Rising FC in the USL Game of the Week. There'll be plenty of noise here tonight as Peter Ramage and Richard Chaplow, both with the referees, taking that first ceremonial photo. And it's off the field and time to focus up on the game at hand for both captains and this group. Logan Pause, the former, well, one-team man for Chicago Fire. He's been the head man for now going on 20-plus games for Orange County. Took over in the offseason, totally revamped roster, and thus far, shown rather well. The question is whether or not they can continue that with a lot of games coming up on their schedule. You think he might be one of the newest and least tenured guys in the league? No, that's Patrice Cantaron, who came on for Frank Yallop. Rick Schantz took over the team in an interim basis. The Frenchman came over from domestic league in Africa and is now in the United States, coaching in the United Soccer League. Mike Watts, Morgan Conklin with you for this one. And Morgan, when you think about this game, it's going to be up to Orange County to try and get something going offensively early here because the impetus is on the home team.
And especially coming off that last matchup, which wasn't too long ago, they had the lead late in the game. Obviously, a beautiful free kick by Drogba, which just changed how the outcome went. But when we spoke with Logan Pause, that wasn't the outcome they wished for, obviously, but there were still some positive takeaways. But tonight, what starts with them, they need to be strong defensively, and then they're looking to build from that. They're trying to find that flank play, which we showed in the open with the two wide players who have to get up and down. But what a great atmosphere. And to be the home team when you need a win, I mean, this isn't a bad way to do it.
Van Avike, the first touch, this brand new soccer stadium. Chaplow sends it to the right. Mike Watts, Morgan Conklin with you. This is the United Soccer League Game of the Week. Joseph Dickerson, the referee for this affair. This is a huge field, 120 by 75, as big as you can make it, professional level. Rigi in the white jersey for Phoenix. Cortez looking for Johnson early on. Chaplow up the right-hand side. Sama Asua did play a strong game against Tulsa last time out. Chaplow. Segura cutting inside. Muse. Retreating back, Lito Fernandez, who's played seemingly every position on the field this year. He's a striker tonight.
He really has. He's moved his way around the field, and he was one of those players that this team can just count on. If they need help in a certain place, he's their guy, and he's put there. So going into tonight, I really wasn't sure where we would see him.
If there weren't a letter next to his name on the lineup sheet, you really would struggle to figure it all out.
You could plug him in anywhere.
Good touch inside by Asua. Tapping back, Kobayashi. And Avike goes to work, sends the service. Snaps out of play. Well, that's Fernandez finding his way into the attack very early.
And that's something just so great about him is good ball played in. He just beats his defender to the ball, just steps right in front, and you kind of see that no matter where he plays on the field. He's aggressive, he uses his speed, good body position, but he's going to work hard no matter where he is, and I love the fact that you have a player that is going to do all that he can to not allow goals go in his own goal, especially when he's in the back line. And then if he's up top, he's going to do whatever he can to step in front of his defender and put one away.
As a foul conceded by Johnson. Maybe I'm asking the wrong person, undersized outside back, Morgan, but is that a skill acquired or one that's just natural, the ability to step in front that way?
I mean, it's definitely just the type of player that you are. Maybe that connects more than some other players. It's that instinct, that intuition to beat your player to the ball, but it's also something you can learn, something you're told to do at all levels of the game. But at the end of the day, it's up to the player to do so, and there are some players that just have that instinct.
It's Fernandez there, instinctually passing to Muse.
Were you trying to say I didn't have the instinct?
You had the instinct. It's just the heart of a lion doesn't necessarily mean there's the body type for it. As Phoenix trying to get forward down the middle. Sean Wright Phillips has taken over. His brother really put a dagger into FC Cincinnati in the U.S. Open Cup on Tuesday night. Bradley Wright Phillips. Sean, of course, has decorated a career as they come for the national team and the English Premier League.
And he just almost floats with the ball at his feet. Just the way he creates the vision, the way he moves. He seems to be one of those players that may be faster with the ball at his feet than without.
There's Wright Phillips. And it's the classy touches. He really is unique to watch because he doesn't have all the size in the world either.
My kind of guy.
Exactly. Sean Wright Phillips playing inspired ball at 35 years old. Former Chelsea star. It's Vasquez, got that service in, brought down by the man of the hour, Charlie Lyon.
Vasquez didn't have much space. He made the run, found that little bit of space that he needed to send that ball in, but this is a game back and forth, both teams just trying to find their ground. Orange County putting the pressure going forward. Obviously Phoenix, extremely talented, especially on the attacking side, trying to get in behind this Orange County back line, which is when they're at their best, when they can pull out defenders and try to get back in behind.
Vasquez getting the opportunity to start as Amadou Dia was sent off in the most recent game, a 1-1 draw. They were up, 0-0 on RGV, Phoenix was, all the way into stoppage time, but 2 red cards in a 5-minute span left them down to 9 players, and Ivan Magalhaes ended up scoring the game-tying goal in the 5th minute of stoppage. Well, just out of the reach of Cortez. One of the guys who really came on strong last year under Frank Yallop. And the previously named Arizona United franchise. Big rebrand for both clubs in the offseason. So no need to adjust your TV set with the new logos on the screen. Back Vasquez now. AJ Gray dispossessed by Oliver. It did sound when we spoke to Logan Pause like the goal was to make less mistakes and create more chances. And every coach wants to do that, but right now it seems like a very controlled start for Orange County.
And that's especially something that they wanted, because looking at how their past games have gone, they were, especially this last matchup between these two teams, they had the win. He said we didn't need to give up that foul that allowed for the free kick. So it's little things like that is obviously creating more chances, which allows you to be more dangerous on the attacking end, but also defensively. He said we don't need to get in to unnecessary battles with a player like Chris Cortez, who likes that contact, who can sometimes draw that contact. So it's just being smarter and not putting, as he said, putting yourself in that situation that can wind up hurting you, as they saw it hurt them in that last matchup. So it becomes even more important for this team.
A couple of good touches. The attacking option there for Julito Fernandez breaks down, the man out of Cape Verde. One of a couple blooming stars in this league from the small country. Steven Dos Santos in Ottawa, previously in Rochester, certainly stands out. Thrown into Oscar Soto. Came out of the Galaxy Academy. Played with Galaxy 2 on that 2015 Western Conference title-winning team. Soto, the center man of what at times will look like 3 in the back and at others 5. Segura. Muse. Asua. Looking for options. Asua over Fernandez. Ray brought it down. Rigi sent it forward. Found Cortez, the man who went to UC Berkeley. Played for Chivas USA, Los Angeles area. Look for Rigi, the Canadian, spins out of play.
That's fantastic defense from Orange County, because that ball played in by Matt Watson was over Oseguda's head, pulled him out, and then it made Sorto come out from his central spot to track the runner Cortez as the ball came in. And that was hit from Phoenix's defensive half. So the vision from Watson to be able to pull out one defender, have another slide over, but just great defensive pressure from Sorto, able to get a foot in there, because that's a dangerous spot once you pull one defender over and force another to slide out to cover. It's dangerous, and you get out of your normal spacing.
We're talking about Sorto, the center back, coming over and providing that extra defense on this near side. He's playing as the center man of this middle three.
Exactly, because it's dangerous when you have a back four, but if you're playing with 5-3, whatever you want to call it, but really truly 3 defenders in this game, spacing becomes even more important, because if one gets pulled out, there's so much more ground the others have to cover.
Seguda, this is good. Shot across, Aliver, still alive here. Orange County, Meus takes a deflection off of Ramage, a corner, the home side.
One of the things I do love about this 3-back, 5-back, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that you have those players, Asua, Meus, who can stay a little bit higher out wide, because they can be such a big part of the attack. You see Meus find his way right to the corner of the box. Not the best service, but to have him in that area, he's going to be dangerous throughout the whole game.
Oliver drives the service, headed just wide. That could have been it for Fernandez. Chance to maybe tally a little history. The first goal at a new park. Swung that outside the post.
You have to wonder if Fernandez is a little more excited to be up front because he's been in the back as a player who likes to score goals, because the way he's attacking these balls coming in, he just once again pops off his defender. He gets there first. He's faster, makes good contact with the ball, just off target, just got past the goal with that run. But he looks like he's ready to make an impact up front. I think he might be trying to make a statement that he'll do whatever the team needs, but maybe he should stay up front.
They kept saying team first. Maybe that's scoring goals for this Orange County team that struggled to find them of late, as Franco lobs that over Jason Johnson into the field side seating Orange County. Wright Phillips. Gray pressing forward. Gray creating a bit of space now. Rigi. Wright Phillips spun out. Gray looking for Cortez. Well done by Sorto. Attack still on here. Johnson reversing. There, Gavin. Fernandez providing that pressure.
Orange County doing a really nice job defensively of keeping their shape. They had Fernandez step out a little bit to put some pressure, but he had players behind him. In that last play, Sorto did a fantastic job of finding the ball and clearing it, because Chris Cortez had his hand up, was waving for that ball, wanting it in behind. But Orange County has done a nice job of playing smart defensively, not forcing any fouls, just staying compact and making it difficult to break them down, because, like I said, Phoenix wants to get in behind them. So if they stay tight, it makes it so much more difficult.
12 minutes gone. Over 100 minutes at this new facility, and no goals to show for it yet. Phoenix on the ball. It's Johnson showing off that blazing speed. Cortez's target. Ricochets out to Chaplow. The thing about both Johnson and Cortez is they've both played wing and striker at different times this season. Times with Didier Drogba in the lineup, at times with him out. Now with a groin strain tonight. Drogba, the game-tying goal in the 4th minute of stoppage time last time these teams met at Orange County's old stadium. Kicked out by Watson. Fernandez shoved away from the ball. Continuing on the attack, Van Ewijk. Van Ewijk! It's a good save, Wazinski, and kicked out by Vasquez.
Fernandez was able to start that defensively by staying with the play, but once Van Ewijk got in behind, there was no player because Fernandez was out of the box. That's something that Logan Paul said. He said that our central forward cannot be the only one filling the box. That's exactly what he's talking about. No one else was around to fill the space when Fernandez was out of the box.
It's a short corner. There's the service. Headed wide again. Fernandez was there, so too was Asua. And that took a deflection off of a Phoenix player. Another corner for Orange County.
Fernandez once again just timing the ball. He's all over the place. Orange County needs somebody else to support him because if he continues working hard in the box, off the ball, he can't be everywhere. He needs players around to help out.
Come back out for an Orange County throw. Held on by Gray. Van Ewijk lost possession. Gray lobs it out again. Five games winless for Orange County. Team 9th in the West. A winner tonight could move into that 8th position in the playoff picture. Off of Chaplow, and could this spring a counter for Phoenix? Cortez brought down. Chaplow is going to enter the book. He's right at the quarter-hour mark.
Cortez just gets in behind Chaplow. Chaplow tries to make the play. He pulled him down from behind. I mean, that's definitely called, definitely a card, but those are the silly fouls that Paws wanted to be wary of. I think there it's a bit of a professional foul. He's still far out from goal, and with Cortez dribbling at the back line, he had players getting for it. It could have been a dangerous situation, so that's just Chaplow trying to stop the play, allow his team to get back behind the ball and organize once again.
So Watson will try to take advantage for Phoenix rising. Skied into the air by Cortez. Chaplow. Van Ewijk trying to make this a bit more difficult. Came to Vasquez, who's out of Anaheim, California. In the PDL for FC Golden State Force that made a run all the way to the semifinals of the PDL this year. The turn by Cortez. Cortez takes a rip. Brought down by Lyon. The rebound, he'll take it in.
Defensively, Orange County needs to pressure a little bit higher. Obviously, Cortez is able to pick that ball up, but he gets 2 touches on the ball, puts it all the way on his left foot, and nobody steps to fill that gap. Once again, Lyon comes up big, but a great job defensively there by Orange County to fill the box and make sure defensively that no Phoenix player was able to get on the end of it. That's something that I hope inspires the attacking side. Defensively, they've done a great job right there of being in the box, not allowing a follow. Time to transition that to the attacking side of things and get in the box once again to help them out on the other side.
Here's the foul, Regi on Chaplow.
Clipped him. You could see it.
Segudo step forward, man who debuted with Tigres in Liga MX on loan to Orange County. 24 years old, Riverside, California. Putting some moves on Regi. It's brought down by Kobayashi. Lyon, Cortez, Cortez, goal! It's the local product for Phoenix, christening the new stadium in Orange County. And for Lyon, who all year has been so good, it's a bit of a howler.
We saw the high pressure from both sides. Cortez just reads the play well. There was enough pace on that ball, just Lions' first touch, a little bit too much. Cortez did a nice job reading that, continued with his defensive run, was just able to step in there. Just a poor touch from Lyon. You don't see that often with him, but that's one. As the last player, if your touch isn't on point, even as a goalkeeper, and you have that pressure like Cortez was providing, he's able to pick that off.
Chris Cortez, second goal of the year. In his 11th game. The man out of Mission Viejo, California, comes to Orange County and tallies in the opening 20 minutes. And you think back in the last 6 games, they've now conceded in the first 20 minutes 4 times. 2 of those in the first 5, Morgan. It's hard to come back when you trail that early. And you can see Logan pause at the bottom of your screen, touching the bridge of his nose.
And it's one of those things, especially on that goal, it's so frustrating because Orange County has had opportunities. Early in the game, they had the chances to get on the board. Weren't able to put it away. Phoenix had chances on the other side. Defensively, they were strong enough. But sometimes it comes down to that one touch not being good enough. And it's frustrating in the fact that Lyon has been so strong lately, and just a slip up like that obviously turned into a goal, but he's a player that can continue to make an impact in the back there. He can continue to remain strong for this Orange County team, and they need to continue to attack like they did in the first couple minutes because they were getting forward. They had the flank play they wanted. They had Fernandez being dangerous in the box.
A flick on by Fernandez, who continues towards Wazinski, who's in goal for a 3rd consecutive start. He and Josh Cohen each have 1 shutout this year. The difference being Cohen has played so many more games, but lest we forget that the defense at times has struggled for Phoenix. And to level that all in the former Orange County goalkeeper, Josh Cohen, would be in some ways a bit unnecessary and perhaps even outright incorrect. Header by Masua. Going to work Kobayashi. It's Fernandez. Fernandez on the turn. Still trying to create a bit of space. A lot of numbers behind the ball, and finally his effort winds wide of Wazinski.
I love the turn from Fernandez. Able to pull defenders, finds a little bit of space. At that point, was able to turn all the way around. He could feel all the players on him, force the shot there. If he can play out of that, it's difficult because you've worked so hard. Your team has tried to move for you, and nobody's really in a great spot at that moment. But if he can just be aware of that, take a breath, and try to play out of it, because he was able to pull so many defenders out of their positioning. And if he can do that and then another player can be slipped through, those are the best chances because Phoenix would have been extremely unorganized.
Johnson brings it back, the product of Virginia Commonwealth University. The Virginia native next to me made some kind of Virginia sign. Not sure what to make of that, Morgan.
No, just Virginia.
Right.
Friends.
Sure.
Johnson. My hometown.
Generation Adidas pick. Oh, look at the Virginian go. And it's away from Johnson, native truly of Happy News, Jamaica. Chaplow here, he had a couple of really good chances to score against Tulsa last time out. Muse. Fernandez has found Asua. And Asua find the service now. Contact from Vasquez. Now towards the wing. Skips off of Vasquez. And that got out for a corner. Zinski left his line to try and get that spinning ball before it left the field of play. You do feel like Orange County is close when they have these opportunities because Fernandez always seems to find a way to get his head to it.
Yeah, but I also want to see someone else get in there to make them even more dangerous and allow them even better chances.
There's Fernandez there, and Avike there as well. It was Fernandez the target on the corner by Meus. Away from Oliver. It's Johnson, who got away from Kobayashi. Numbers pushing ahead. Rigi up the wing. Will it hold up for him? It does. Turning the corner. His first touch led him out of play.
A really good run transitionally for Phoenix there to be able to go from that corner and all the way back down to Rigi. His first touch definitely too heavy. I was a little surprised at first and that wasn't called. I was wondering how he kept that in, but obviously it went over the line. But that's where Orange County has to be careful. They have to be tight in those back 3-5, whatever you want to call it, because in transition, by springing a player forward, you can see Johnson get on the ball and then spring Rigi forward. That's dangerous because you have one player dribbling straight at the back line that you have to be aware of, and then another who's peeling wide to create space for himself. It's dangerous at all times, but especially on a transition.
Kobayashi playing back. Meus. A Phoenix team that's gradually lessened the number of opportunities offensively against it under their new coach, Patrice Carteron. Gray, well, we've seen this before. This time, however, gets out over the near touchline for Rigi.
And that ball was just a little too heavy that time, but that's the same exact play. Gray getting the ball at his feet and dribbling directly to central, drawing as many players as he can to allow space for Rigi on that wing. It's obvious that's what Phoenix wants to do when they have space, when they have time on the transition. Orange County is doing a good job. It's difficult because you know Rigi's wide, but you still have to stop the central runner, the central player who's coming up with the ball.
Flag up for offside. As a fullback against a guy like Rigi who is so fast, when he gets forward, are you trying to pick a point to try and cut him off? Are you trying to get central and make sure that you're able to approach him, or are you trying to go directly at him?
Well, when a different player is dribbling central, you have to tuck in central, because if the player with the ball doesn't choose to play it, he can have a straight path towards the goal. So your first job is to stop the central player who's dribbling towards, knowing Rigi's wide. Once the ball goes to Rigi, you have to cut the path off. You have to run at a diagonal to where he is coming with the ball to try to time it at best to stop that. It's difficult when you have a pacey player like that, but it comes down to trying to time it as best as you can.
Meus. It's Kobayashi. Contact from Gray. Meus sent service in after the foul. He'll have an even better chance here. A yellow card will come.
Orange County has found the ball in this area a few times. They've had a fair share of corners. This is a really good spot because you can treat it like a corner, but you have a better angle. So there's also an option to go directly to goal. And this is a really good area for them. I don't know if they're going to choose to shoot. I don't know if they'll look to whip one in. They have the runners. They have a player like Fernandez who wants to beat his players to the ball.
They hit the crossbar from here on Wednesday night. This time they send it to the top of the area. And in the end, not good enough from Franco to test Wazinski.
I don't mind that ball coming across, but normally if you play the ball out like that, you'll have a striker or somebody who hits that ball normally. Not saying Franco can't do it, but the way the ball's coming across his body, as a defender, it's a little bit more difficult. So I'm surprised that ball wasn't whipped in, especially with the numbers that they had. Or normally if a ball's played like that, you'll have a forward or an attacking midfielder, someone who strikes the ball from that area normally at the top of the box there.
In the end, it was Franco who this year is yet to score, just short of 1,600 minutes. Wright Phillips on the turn. Did well to sneak it upfield. Gavin has found Johnson. Gray retreating. AJ Gray, start number 7 of the year. Actually played with Giovanni Dos Santos in the U17s. Some experience for Gray previous in the youth national team. Wazinski. There's a foul. A little too aggressive on Johnson. '30th minute. USL game of the week. You're in one of the best seats in the house.
What a cool atmosphere. Opening, the official opening of the new stadium, there are literally seats just on the side of the field. To watch such a great game, this is an awesome atmosphere. And you just see kids sitting on the sideline, sitting on their parents' lap, just directly next to the field. That's so cool.
And the talk with Logan Pause was, why drive an hour to go see the Galaxy when there's professional soccer right here in Orange County? And of course, LAFC will join MLS in coming years, and surely that'll add to the amount of professional soccer in the area. But Orange County has a chance to really carve out good opportunity for itself in a gorgeous new facility. Wright Phillips trying to bike kick that toward Cortez. They put a stadium up for the opening half of the season while they finished off this new field with the lawn seating as well as the field seating, some suite level opportunities as well. Now it's finally done, and it really has brought out quite a crowd for opening night.
Mike, we've called a lot of games together at different venues, and I think that is one of the coolest things, is seeing not just the growth of the game in the United States, but just these new stadiums and just the followings behind them and everyone buying into the team, not just the players and the coaches buying in, but the fans and the communities. And I think that's been one of the neatest things to see as the season's gone on. It almost feels like every other month there's something big going on in a community in the team, or a big opening or something like that. And it's just been really cool as a fan of the game. It's been cool to see that.
Free kick here in the 32nd minute. Last time these teams met, this was Didier Drogba in the final minute of stoppage time. The problem wasn't the free kick. The caliber of Didier Drogba had all the praise from Logan Pause, but he said it was the foul leading up to it. Cortez had a much better look at that than the final effort would indicate. That wasn't necessarily a needless foul, and it wasn't nearly as close to the box as the last effort, but it's interesting when you hear a coach say, we weren't stopping that shot, but we could have stopped that initial effort.
And I think that's just being realistic, is that the breakdown wasn't the save. That would have been a massive save if that would have happened. But the breakdown was what allowed the free kick to even happen, whether it's a mental error, whether it was players not marking correctly, one had to commit, whatever it is, the foul shouldn't have happened. And that's what allowed Phoenix to be in that position to put the game away.
And Avike did say they really struggled the 2 or so minutes before that, trying to keep the ball, not make mistakes. In the end, Phoenix did draw a level in that matchup. This is the 13th meeting between the clubs. Phoenix leading with 6 wins and a couple of draws. Orange County's 4 victories in the series. Most recent draw had as much juice as any we've seen between these two sides. Sean Wright Phillips dribbling ahead. Van Avike, Wright Phillips getting his momentary revenge. Goal in the 18th minute. Chris Cortez forcing a mistake. The goalkeeper, Charlie Lyons, so far. The lone tally. Really the only true opportunity Phoenix has managed to muster in the early going. Vasquez. First opportunity in the starting order in 3+ weeks. You think back to the Tulsa game where Phoenix really got whitewashed a bit. The discussion with Patrice Cartheron after that fact was that players are going to earn playing time in training. Others playing best going into the game. Vasquez has had to wait to get his chance to return to the lineup. Touch from Johnson to keep it in play.
You could see Cortez keeping an eye on the back line, trying to potentially press if Johnson was to win that ball or if the ball was to go back.
Lyon had company again. Gray reverting. Kobayashi will earn a throw for Orange County. And Mius trying to turn the corner. Mius back toward the byline. Space here. Kobayashi didn't pull the trigger. His ball across. Bounces back to him fortuitously. Mius. Diving header to keep it out. Chaplow sent it ahead, a touch from Van Avike. And out past Wazinski for a goal kick.
Great work all around, but no one was able to be there to take the shot. Rigi did a nice job initially on this, tracking back, just getting inside with his body positioning. But as that play continued, Orange County had so many different players on the ball. Chaplow did a great job of looking off his run. He looked like he was going to pass the wide, decided to turn and keep it, and then tried to set up another player. That's one of those things when, in terms of creating chances and taking chances, you get so close and you have so many opportunities, but there has to be a time when one player just takes it upon themselves and puts themselves in a great chance to shoot, or sets up another to then go to goal more dangerously rather than just passing and playing around the top of the box.
Lifted across. Gray overrunning. Mius did well to stay wise to it. Wins the throw for Orange County. Oliver has gotten past his mark. He's got room. Look for Fernandez, and again, they don't pull the trigger.
And that's exactly it. You get so close. You're inside the box. Beat your defender. There's space. Maybe shooting with your right foot isn't the best option, but bringing the ball back out to the left when Fernandez isn't ready for it is definitely not the best option.
The conversation this week wasn't that they were disjointed, the word that came to my mind after watching their Tulsa game. Rather, ineffective was the description Logan Paws used offensively against Tulsa, this Orange County group in the midweek. A little bit of contact there. Sorto is a player down. A quick restart, Orange County. It's hard to be effective if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I think Michael Scott once said.
Well, that's the frustration, is that Orange County has put themselves in dangerous positions, but nothing semi-dangerous even comes from it because nobody looks on frame, or nobody has looked on frame in those moments.
Mius bouncing ball, pops in the air. Kobayashi recovered. Watson pushing. Spun wide again, Zach Kobayashi. Sent across Asua. That'll just stay in play, gliding along the byline. Central defender has come forward. Segura. Oliver stepping back in his stead. Franco. Probing now. Fernandez. Here's his pocket picked. Now can Phoenix get back the other way?
Orange County had 6 players trying to track to get back behind the ball because they had all pushed forward. They weren't in that last play when the turnover happened. And then Phoenix went into that space quickly. So there are 6 players from Orange County that now have to get into their defensive positions and put in a sprint about 30 yards long. And that's the issue with not creating anything, especially if you get the numbers forward, because when it's lost, all these people have just wasted their energy because they have to get forward, but now they have to track back.
Van Avike against Cody Wakasa, who's oftentimes played outside back, playing in a central role now. Mius. Oliver. What can Osua do? Vasquez came up quickly to play the man. Turn, Kobayashi. Skied on the deflection, Gray. Kobayashi brought it down away from Wright Phillips. Chipped to Osua. Another bite at the apple here. Osua! It's punched away by Wazinski right at the goal line. Ramage. Couple dribbles there, and Watson there was just enough of that, right?
And Orange County was a little bit more dangerous there, but my issue with this, when the ball's punched out, Van Avike decides to not go up for the second ball, and you see him back up a little bit to try to see where the header's going to go, which is fine. But then the header's over his head, and there's no movement to try to get there and fill the space. If he's right around the top of the box and can drop in, that's a great place to pick up the ball and go back to goal. There's no work on this second effort. There hasn't been enough right in front of the goal when that's an easy place to pick up the ball and then create again.
Watson, chance to move forward for Phoenix, rising here. Gray, arms outstretched, wanted runners. Watson dribbles in. Watson around Oliver. Gray is circled around. Over Cortez. Headed down, and Lyon picks it up in the 41st minute. Wright Phillips spun off the ball. Mius returns for Oliver, native of the Netherlands, who signed in July. His lob over the top for Van Avike, a fellow Dutchman, a bit too far.
That ball's difficult to play because Phoenix isn't playing a high line, but they're aware that once the ball goes back, if Orange County builds up, they bring it back, Phoenix brings their line up. So that's a ball that's difficult. Van Avike has to be aware that when the ball goes back and the defensive line steps, he can't run through because they're doing a really nice job of just being aware and not allowing a lot of space in the midfield because they're compressing it, and then also really not allowing that space behind because he's offside if he doesn't time his run.
Off that of Cortez, Johnson was coming. But that was our discussion coming into the game. The way Orange County would try and attack, certainly in the wings, and most certainly over the top. Stepped away by Rambo.
They've had the flank play. That's been great in getting it there, but it's just creating more from there.
Chaplow sent that all the way across. Player fell down. Attack still on here for Orange County as it went all the way across the face of goal. 2 players slide. And what's coming now? It's a straight red card to A.J. Gray. And for the second consecutive week, a defender red carded for Phoenix. Last week it was 2 in the final 10 minutes. For Gray, it's right before halftime.
And that's extremely dangerous. Oseguda goes down for the slide first. He's on the ground going for it. Gray tries to slide in from his angle. That is extremely dangerous.
Well, that face, 1,000 words for A.J. Gray. Patrice Carteron and Rick Shantz both. I make a point to the referee, who instantly reached for the back pocket, did Joseph Dickerson. Jose Lopez, the fourth official there. Carteron still arms outstretched, trying to make a point here. Disappointing for Gray. 29-year-old will come off here.
And Gray did a nice job stepping in originally, but as Osegudo goes down on that, Gray's not going to win the ball from sliding in from his angle. There's no way at that point that you can get the ball and not touch the player and not hurt the player in that moment. So it's the angle he went in at. Osegudo was already down with his foot on the ball there.
One point is you see Gray instantly throw his arms back and try and definitely knew something was on there.
No doubt. No harm. Didn't mean to. It's one of those, you see a ball, you want to slide for it, you want to get it, but the fact that Osegudo was already there. But it's just it was an instinct at that moment. He was trying to get down for the ball. No harm intended.
Lobbed. Wazinski pulled that in. Wakasa spun out.
But Mike, going back to that, obviously it's a big blow losing a player going down a man, but especially a player like A.J. Gray, who has gotten forward but has been strong defensively because with the wing play that Orange County wants, by playing those wingers, trying to get the flank play, trying to get players up and down, knowing Roy Muse is a player that wants the ball on his left foot, wants to serve it in. That was a really good matchup with Gray and Muse, and he was doing a good job of shutting him down and not allowing him to be too dangerous into the attack. It's going to be interesting as to what Phoenix is going to do to address that, especially knowing that most of the buildup and play from Orange County has come from the wide positions.
And you think about it, Dia and Mala are both on suspension, defenders available to them. Stewart did not make the trip. Line drive all the way over the end line. And while Wakasa has played both center back tonight and previously outside back, the rookie, maybe with no players listed as defenders among their available substitutes, you play this out with three in the back, or move Blair Gavin back into a central role and swing Wakasa out in the second half.
Well, and they're up a goal, so defensively they could just choose to have really strong, maybe more central defenders and try to win the midfield battles more so maybe than they have been, and maybe they'll look to stack the midfield. But you don't know what's going to happen. You never know how a coach is going to look to approach it, but knowing that Orange County is looking to build a lot up that wing play, one, it's going to be interesting to how Phoenix responds to it, but also, does that change for Orange County? Are they more effective going up the wings? Does Roy Muse continue to get the ball? Do they try to find him more? Because he has great service with his left foot. And to not have a player like Gray who's so quick to step and close down an attacker, it can change the game obviously altogether, but especially in that matchup.
So Gray, a red card. We've reached halftime. For Phoenix, you think, wow, a goal in the 18th minute from Cortez, the native of Mission Viejo at the new stadium in Orange County. Good for Phoenix, but that red card puts a bit of a damper on this whole thing.
Well, and the goal was great. Cortez stayed with the ball. He pressured the goalkeeper, obviously was able to put that one away. But besides that, from both sides, there's been a buildup, but the end piece hasn't been there. So throughout this half, I thought we were going to see both sides maybe establish themselves a little bit more. It was back and forth more than I thought it would be, but going into that second half, I'm interested in how we're going to see Phoenix come out of it, and for Orange County, how do they use this to motivate them and really have more quality in that final third?
There's your beautiful new home. It's professional soccer in Orange County. Here's the first goal in the stadium's history. Cortez in the 18th. Tell you about the first half that was, and a look around the league when we come back. This is the USL Game of the Week. There it is, the brand new stadium, Champions Stadium in Orange County, California. Phoenix Rising has the 1-goal lead at halftime. This is the ESPN3 United Soccer League game of the week. Mike Watts, Morgan Conklin with you. Let's do this again next week. Let's do it for the next few months. The regular season winding down, the pennant race is on, Morgan. And here's the upcoming schedule. Louisville City playing great ball right now. We'll close out August. And then September, let's go west.
Yeah, another rematch of this game. Once again, not a bad one. Really good slate coming up. I always look forward to the game of the week because you never really know midweek. Teams coming off a short turnaround. It's difficult to play once again. It's difficult to play on that short turnaround, but it's always interesting to see how they show up, how do they perform, and it's always a good one.
Well, so far tonight, it's a Friday game, essentially a weekend game. If you really like to think about it, it's a special edition, so to speak, of our United Soccer League game of the week. We'll wrap the highlights from the first half when we return and a look around the league. Phoenix ahead, 1-0 at the half.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
James Outland and Morgan Copes from the leadership of Birmingham, Alabama's 2019 USL expansion side recently visited the league offices. Announced as the first expansion team for 2019, Outland and Copes share in the excitement as the club begins to work towards its inaugural season.
Well, first and foremost, I think we're going to have a great product. We're going to have a professional environment. We're going to have a competitive team, and not just competitive, we want to win. So I think the competition and the level of play on the field is going to be top-notch, and I think the experience at the stadium and for the fans is going to be equally impressive.
What excites me about being in the USL in 2019 is it's a dream come true. I mean, this is something that, you know, there's a group of guys and individuals who have put a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, you know, everything you can think of from a grassroots perspective, startup. You know, to see it come to fruition, you know, when this whole thing really kind of started from, you know, just a couple beers at a local brewery. This whole idea, to see it come to fruition, it's going to be incredible.
What excites us about joining the USL is, first, Birmingham needs a professional sports team, and we think soccer is the ideal sport for Birmingham. It's a great growing sport across the country. And as importantly, the USL has really been a successful league. They've done a phenomenal job. We've done our research. We've been working on this for over 2 years now. And we really chose the USL because we think it's the best league and one of the best sports in the world. And we think Birmingham is primed to become a great professional soccer town.
It's going to be a fun, fast, exciting atmosphere. I mean, the game of soccer itself is always, you know, very exciting, you know, to watch live. Just because of the speed of play, the physicality, the toughness that goes into it. But you know, I also think we're going to have a great, fun family atmosphere. Well,
it's been a great opportunity to come and get better familiarized with the people behind the league and get to meet the folks that we work with on a weekly and ongoing basis, and really get our ducks in a row and be ready to launch for our 2019 beginning of the season.
The wealth of knowledge, the information, and just the organization around the entire organization itself is incredible. The professionalism is second to none. And you know, I'm excited about getting to meet the people and put faces to names. There's an old quote, you know, nobody cares what you know until they know you care. So I really look forward to establishing those relationships with league officers and just the people in and around here.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Halftime in Orange County. It is a near sellout crowd for opening night. It's a fantastic Friday evening for the beautiful game in Southern California. 1-0 in favor of Phoenix Rising over Orange County to this point. We welcome you back to the booth. That's Morgan Conklin. I'm Mike Watson. Morgan, when you think back to this opening half, again, you almost feel a bit gypped if you're Phoenix Rising because you have the lead. You're going to play the next 45 minutes down a man. It changes the whole game plan.
Not exactly how they wanted to end that half out, especially since they went up 1-0. Wanted to hold that with all 11 men going into the half. But both sides, like I said, didn't exactly establish enough in that first half. Not exactly as much as I would have expected, but Julito Fernandez did establish his dominance up top and how he would continue to work on all sides of the ball and be dangerous in that attacking half.
This time we see Van Eyck. A good save by Wazinski. One of the better saves this opening half.
Yeah, it's a tough angle there, but Wazinski's able to get down. One of the really only times he was tested and had to get down for a ball.
This is in the back line, Cortez. This is first effort, 17th minute. Nice save by Lyon. Lyon would have a bit of a struggle the next time, though.
And a great job defensively from Orange County to really create a bit of an arc to allow him to get that second ball and not have a Phoenix player.
So Orange County moving backwards, everything copacetic. In the 18th minute, Cortez just never stopped coming.
And that was all on his decision. You could see Wright Phillips backed off once the ball was played back. He didn't continue with his defensive pressure. Cortez decided to go, went with speed, not the best touch from Lyon. He was able to force a mistake, a heavy touch, and he just stayed with it, got down for the ball, and down the back of the net.
Maybe a little too much juice from Usaguda as well. Meanwhile, this could change the whole dynamic of the game. Final 3 minutes of the opening half, AJ Gray, that's a straight red.
And it's so unfortunate because there was no harm intended. He didn't mean to do it, but the way that Usaguda went down first for the ball, he was already sliding. The way Gray came in, extremely dangerous. You just can't do that. Definitely a red. It's just unfortunate because he didn't mean to. He was able to get his foot in the initial ball from Muse, tried to stay with the play, just put his body down to try to go for it, but just a dangerous play.
So Cortez comes off as the goal scorer. Phoenix down a man the rest of the way. Here are the statistics. Orange County out-possessing, out-shooting, so far so good theoretically.
And they have a high number of passes. They have the build-up. They've settled on a couple of shots, but the final decision has to be better. Maybe taking a better shot, finding a player that's in a better position, that's more open. The final decision has to be better because if you look at the stats on paper, it's great. It's just that last little decision has to be a little bit better, which will put them in a better position.
Orange County playing its second of 4 consecutive games at this gorgeous facility. They're trying to find their first win. Phoenix ahead by 1. A look around the league when we come back. It was said this week, new stadium, same passion. Orange County trailing here at the half. Orange County Great Parks Championship Soccer Stadium. It's a near sellout capacity crowd for opening night. And a lot of fans of Orange County professional soccer making their way out here this evening. Mike Watts, Morgan Conklin back with you. Luke Spencer and Louisville City coming off a 5-0 victory against FC Cincinnati. Over 13,000. A record crowd at Slugger Field. They'll be the site of our next USL game of the week. Expansion and FC Cincinnati, though, the two biggest stories in the league this week.
And expansion for 2018, but also 2019. Bethlehem, obviously, it was shown in the halftime feature, the first expansion team announced for 2019. Austin is making a return to the USL. It's just such an exciting time for the league. In terms of expansion, like I said, clubs opening facilities, it's really cool to be a part of.
And if you check out the Nashville Twitter right now, you'll see their new head coach giving his predictions for the games this weekend. It's good for fodder at the least. And for New York Red Bulls, they're taking on FC Cincinnati tomorrow in USL play. Red Bulls 2, but that Open Cup semifinal for FC Cincinnati, a real heartbreaker. Chris Cortez tonight, a heartbreaker for this Orange County crowd. He put in a lot of work in this first half.
Yeah, and he did a good job peeling off the back line a little bit, but this was just him taking this upon himself, deciding to go. You see forwards often decide to break that maybe line of confrontation the team's playing with. He decided to go, he went with it, was able to force Lyon to take a bit of a poor touch, and he just stayed with it, put his body on the line. Sometimes it takes a forward like that to put it upon himself. As a team, you like to stay compact defensively, all be on the same page. But every now and then, if you get the instinct, if you want to go, the forwards have the freedom to do so. And he jumped, went with the ball, and it worked out for him.
Cortez, the man of the hour in Southern California tonight. And out of UC Berkeley, going to Chivas USA, 29 years old. He's got a little piece of Orange County history already in his pocket. He kicks off this second half. Underway, Phoenix Rising, Orange County. Out of the second half of play with Morgan Conklin, Mike Watson, the United Soccer League's ESPN3 Game of the Week. Irvine, California, Champions Soccer Stadium. Phoenix will play down to 10 men the rest of the way due to the red card issued to AJ Gray in the 44th minute. You see how quickly Orange County tries to take advantage of 10 men Phoenix, getting numbers forward. A liver off of Fernandez, who had a really busy opening half for Orange County.
But he was extremely busy, I would say, in the first 10, maybe 15 minutes when Orange County was really pressing, playing direct, in behind the back line. He was making all of the runs. He was beating his defenders to any balls that were around him. But as the half went on, this Orange County team struggled to find him a little bit because they didn't make that final pass to where he was.
Johnson had that poked away at the vital moment. He was cutting central. Down by Ramage. Vasquez. Casa still playing that central defensive role. Pushed up the right-hand side. Lobbed up the left. Fernandez got the first touch. Fernandez arriving again. Just tagged away from his run.
I love that pass played in by Van Avike. It's so dangerous as Fernandez continues his run to play that little slip ball so he can get the first touch like he does. But the Phoenix defender does a great job of just disrupting that a little bit. By getting that little touch, it forces Fernandez off the path that he was running at. But I love that from Van Avike, to see Fernandez in that spot and to play the ball where he's running, so his first touch would set him up.
And Avike touching it wide, service, Fernandez, sliding challenge, Johnson kicks it out. Fernandez has been everywhere again at the start of this half. The 27-year-old rookie out of Cape Verde who played at UMass Lowell. A third-round draft pick of FC Dallas in the 2017 MLS Super Draft. Oldest player at the MLS Combine last year. Away from Esua. "27 years old at 26, making a big impact in the MLS Combine, Lito Fernandez. Have to draw interest from Dallas, which has such a great homegrown roster. Right, Phillips. The right-hand side, we'll see Matt Watson over there a bit more in this second half for 10-man Phoenix. Regi coming central. All winds toward Johnson and cleared. You do feel like Orange County would do well to pick up the goalkeeper that made maybe that first mistake in maybe the last 6 games where they've only allowed a couple of goals. Been really good on the whole, but this offense has struggled to back him. 2 goals for them in the last 5 coming in.
And that's one of those things as a team, you rely on your goalkeeper to do his job, which is keep balls out of the net as best as he can. But on the other end, you have to rely on your team, your attackers, your forwards, your midfielders. You have to rely on your team to put goals away. So it's one of those things. He's done a great job doing his part, but he needs help on the other end.
Watson attacking still. Played out over the far touchline. By the same token, at times, Phoenix, for all the star power they do have, has struggled to score consistently. They have just 1 win away from home. It was at LA Galaxy 2. Just 1 win in their last 7 in total. Regi. Continuing wide, Watson dispossessed. All right, Phillips couldn't control.
That was a cheeky little pass from Van Avijk to just get it beyond Johnson, right out of his reach to play that ball through.
Esua. There he is again. Van Avijk. High arcing service. Esua went up for it. Esua committed the foul in his effort to keep that in play. In the end, Vasquez, the player, down for Phoenix Rising. But one thing that came to mind there with Esua in that position, we talked to Logan Paz and he said it's not fair to have one player getting forward, and there a fullback is all the way at the byline trying to head it back into play.
And it's not just it's not fair because it puts so much pressure on the forward trying to fill the box, but it makes things easier for the team because there's other options, and it's harder for the other team defensively to know who to mark. So by sending other players forward, it just makes everything so much easier. Obviously, there's another person who can finish, but there's another person that the defense has to mark and be aware of. So it opens up other players. So having other options fills so many different roles and makes Orange County better. They are better when they have more than one option going forward.
The domino effect. Ball line toward Fernandez. Cleared further. Chaplow. Johnson took it before Van Avijk took on. Van Avijk took it away. Fernandez, Kobayashi. Kobayashi took a deflection. Winds outside. Esua. Chaplow. Pressure from behind. Van Avijk. Liver. The turn by Fernandez. Lobbed over the back line. Chaplow, the target, comes down to Johnson. There's nobody there for Phoenix. All 10 behind the ball that time around. So Orange County starts up again. Sorto for Chaplow, bypassing Franco. Asua, all out of play. And Franco looks over. It's going to be his number on the board. And so the defender will come out. And James Baxendale, 24-year-old man from the United Kingdom, will come on. Very much an attacking-minded substitution.
Absolutely. You could already see Asua and Baxendale switch spots in that position. So Baxendale play higher in that flanky position. And then Asua will find his way in the back line of three, if that's what you want to call it, as that outside back of the three.
So 54th minute, and the play will come back. Belongs to Phoenix. Nothing of too much significance there. Have to draw the ire of the official. Wazinski broke the USL record for saves in a season in 2015. Bit of a dubious mark. Rigi at the byline, setting it back. Johnson continuing to press. Chaplow did well to help play that out of pressure with Wright Phillips attacking from the backside.
You can hear the Orange County bench saying, James, high. They want Baxendale to get forward. They don't want him to be back with Asua. As that flank player, they want him more in the attack.
Ball bouncing. Johnson brought this down. Goes to work on Asua. Cortez. Rigi putting on all the moves. The man who played with FC Montreal previous. Johnson cutting, centering, all the way across. Van Avike has Baxendale on the overlapping run. Instead, Chaplow. Baxendale is taken over. Baxendale, service toward Fernandez. That bounces all the way through. Kobayashi off of Wakasa. That's dangerous living if you're Phoenix Rising. Cut out by Sorto.
That was one of the best looks for Orange County because they played the ball in a dangerous position. They had Fernandez move off the ball. He just moved to the side to allow it to go by him, but it pulled a defender because the Phoenix backline thought he was going to take that. So the movement was there, the ball in was there, the finish just didn't come off. Well, Kobayashi was there, it just didn't come off.
Are you telling me that he stepped out of this on purpose?
Absolutely. He started going and he knew that he wasn't going to get it, but look how he draws two defenders. One goes up for that, or behind him, Wakasa kind of stops for a second because he's not exactly sure what's going on, but something as simple as that allows the ball to go through and freezes a defender like Wakasa.
He deserves an Oscar for that effort. Vertically planking as the ball flies by over his shoulder.
But it throws the
Baxendale dropping
defender.
back, yeah.
Did the job.
Did you ever have anyone do that where they dummied a vertical ball like that in that position? As this will find its way through, flag up for offside.
I don't think I can say I ever had someone just stop and stand there. Maybe do more of a moving dummy,
right,
letting the ball run past them. But I think if I saw somebody just stop, I absolutely would stop because you don't see it that often. And you just don't see a forward stop right in front of the goal, so it definitely would throw off a defender. At least it would throw me off. It threw Wakasa off, so we're on the same page on that one.
And you were pretty good. Morgan Conklin former Virginia Tech Hokie, played in the College Cup. Rigi shoved over. The official keeping his whistle down. Here's Baxendale, most recently in Mansfield Town in the English League 2. The mid-season reinforcements, this Orange County side, intent on making a run down the stretch. Lobbed over, Van Avijk. It's a touch from Wazinski. Options. Ramage, a header to keep that out of the net. Corner to Orange County.
Dangerous ball played in. Van Avijk did a nice job of seeing Wazinski come out, but kept his eye on the ball. He got a bit of a lucky bounce as it fell right to his feet. But what I don't understand is why Baxendale didn't come on that far post. As Van Avijk picked his head up, he chose to shoot it, but that's another option, the big switch to the far post, and then Baxendale's in on the other side.
A fifth corner for Orange County. A lot of juice under that one. Recovered, Rigi taking it away, and now the sprint is on. Joined by Wright Phillips. Johnson gliding by everybody. Johnson past Baxendale. And Lyon going down. Johnson leaping over the top. It's a corner. Lyon did get a touch to that. Johnson still arguing the point.
That's a fantastic run from Johnson, using his pace, coming up wide, just gets around Baxendale. I don't think that's a foul. I think that's a goalkeeper coming out to get the ball. Personally, I can see why Johnson is asking for it. I think more so the foul would have been on Baxendale with the shove from behind. That then forced Johnson to be off balance at that moment.
Maybe that's the point he had. The layman's eye thought it was looking at the goalkeeper. The expert. Rigi looking for Wright Phillips, who's overlapping. Johnson, who buried a penalty in the most recent game. 1-1 draw against RGV right before halftime. Not drawing it there.
Something so small right there. That's a fantastic tackle from Victor Vasquez. As Chaplow's coming in, he was precise. He got ball.
Baxendale starting this attack. Fernandez, Baxendale now sending it out in front. And it was at first Kobayashi who chopped at it. Orange County's getting closer here against the Phoenix side, down a man since before halftime.
That ball from Baxendale is so dangerous. The pace he whips it in, gets the little touch around Vasquez, stays with the ball that comes back across from Fernandez, gets his touch to set it up and whips that ball across. That is so dangerous. Orange County has missed that. They did not have enough service from the side. They got the flank play. Maybe it was a lofted ball, but that ball from him is so good.
Baxendale, that headed by Kobayashi. Bounces out. It's a throw to Orange County, and we've seen Fernandez primarily as the guy, the focus of the service, not the one giving it, helping with Baxendale there to combine.
But what made that so good for Orange County is the fact that Fernandez was out. Baxendale sends in a beautiful cross, and they had other players to fill. It didn't come off, but you had a player sliding, and you had others in the box. So that's a good start. Build from this. This is time for Orange County to continue to build and add on to what they're doing well right now.
Sua overlapping. Baxendale sends it inside. It bounces into Wazinski. Fernandez there shaking his head. Phoenix has a substitute waiting as Wazinski taking over. Has now started 3 straight games, Wazinski has. Typically he's been a fixture in the lineup. Jordan Stagmiller got a fair number of starts last year with Wazinski out due to injury. Man out of St. John's, carrying some regularity. Bouncing down to Baxendale. Here he goes again. Liver looking for options still. Overlapping run from Asua. And Avike played him. Offside.
And that's the tight line from Phoenix, being aware that once the ball goes wide, you can see Van Avike trying to look it off. A nice little slip ball, was tricky the way he played that, but the line by Phoenix had stepped up, so at that point he was off.
Regi will come out, only his 7th start of the season. And in his stead, a newcomer to the organization. Regi in his first year with the club, providing opportunities. But it's Kevon Lambert who comes on, the Jamaican, seeking his USL debut tonight. 20-year-old who comes over from Montego Bay on August 10th. Played in Gold Cup in Phoenix. Comes on here. One of 3 signings made by Phoenix last week. Patrice Carteron still molding this team in his image, taking it over mid-season, which is a bit of a unique opportunity for him to make these changes during the transfer window. Watson. Watson to throw. Watson in that Chicago organization along with Logan Paws in the early 2010s. Asua. Baxendale, overlapping run. Baxendale chooses to send it across himself. How about another corner? This will be number 6 for Orange County.
And they've all been a little bit different. Some have been whipped in, some have been the short corners. That one was played across the top of the box.
This would be both.
Correct.
Both the short corner and whipped in. Asua leaping out for it. He kept that in and rolls it up the byline. Lambert arrived first there. Attack still on. This wound towards the back post, pulled in by Wazinski. That could have been dangerous for Sama Asua.
And there was just so much time on that ball from Asua. He had the ball at his feet, was able to set it up, sent it to that back post. I like seeing that ball in. Fernandez wasn't able to get up for that. It's a bit of a difficult angle for him, but I like seeing that back post service.
Pounding away from Cortez. Baxendale. And Avike has stayed on side. Rolls it to Chaplow. Further for Oliver. Sorto. Baxendale. Got it between the legs of Johnson. Sorto sends it in front. Deflected again. That time it was Fernandez. Oliver. Nobody there. Wazinski will handle this with ease.
That was such a cheeky touch around Johnson. The little ball from Baxendale, the run from Sorto, and a beautiful ball played in. Who else on the end of it? Once again, Lido Fernandez has been so busy in the box tonight. But Baxendale, the substitution coming in, he's been so great on the ball, setting up other players, but his service, his vision, he's been really dangerous on that right side.
Cortez went down. It's Lambert. No Didier Drogba tonight for Phoenix, nor Omar Bravo in the 18. Sean Wright Phillips, an enormous name in his own right, is in the lineup, as is Chaplow. Tremendous English experience for Orange County. Well, plenty of major names in the order. Attack on, this is great from Wright Phillips. That's still in play. A little bit disappointing there for Wright Phillips. Couple of changes coming. A-team for Orange County while Ariola is waiting. Come on for Phoenix. Enough for Jason Johnson. We highlighted him in the pregame. What's your assessment on Johnson's overall effort tonight?
He had his moments. He was a player that was really good in transition for this team, was really good going forward, created, was dangerous, was a handful for this Orange County back line. He didn't need to put the game in his hands and really bring it upon himself to put this away, but he did a good job tonight. A solid performance from him. This substitution is just Ariola coming in for Johnson. They're just different players, and Johnson did a great job, especially for his 70 minutes that he played, and just putting pressure on this Orange County back line. They had to know where he was at all times. They had to know where his runs were going to come from, and it was a solid performance.
Meanwhile, it's Mius who comes out for Orange County. His impact lessened in this second half. Trying to turn the corner. There's contact at the edge of the penalty area. A-team is on the turn. There's a rip from distance off of Lambert, who flew in and couldn't get the ball back for Phoenix. Ball lobbed across, Wazinski catching.
On the top left corner of the screen, you could see Richard Chaplow doing his best to move off the ball there for Van Avike, really opening his run, trying to get his body open to the goal so he could help in any way possible, whether it was a slip to his feet or slipping it through the back line. He's trying to make runs to be another option rather than just shooting from distance. He's trying to get in behind that back line so he can create, so he can go to goal. Keep an eye out for that. He's been slipping in on that left side high up in between the back line.
Liver, Orange County up a man, 7th game in 21 days. Well, tired legs play a role. Might be able to find that extra burst, find an equalizer in these final 20 minutes. Champions Soccer Stadium, Orange County, California. 5,000 seat stadium. Tremendous fan base here tonight. And Avike to Sua. Fernandez headed it straight down. And a goal kick on the way. The capacity, give or take 5,000 here. What kind of crowd have we seen tonight? 4,963 paid. In total, a sellout crowd. A lot of those seats, they are empty. It's because they've got the lawn seating on both end lines that's drawn a lot of attention. Of course, the extra seats down on the field level. Sorto, Chaplow. A-team was making a run down the center of the box as well. Wazinski to hold on to that.
And you could see he was trying to find A-team there with that ball, tried to head it into his path. That's the only issue. Getting close to goal is that header has to be directly where it needs to be, because if there's a little bit too much put on it, it's an easy save for Wazinski to come off his line and gather it.
Ariola couldn't retain possession. You just heard the public address announcer as well describe a sellout crowd. Will they drive home happy in the 405? Oliver, Chaplow, tight angle now. He reverses into the corner. Baxendale serving a lot of air under it. Wright Phillips couldn't put a head to the ball. Attack still on. Oliver. Baxendale serves again. It's dangerous. Swiped away by Wazinski. Still the attack lingers for Orange County. It's ripped on the ground, deflected, and a goal kick coming.
I mentioned Chaplow's run early. That's what started this whole thing. He got the ball, it wasn't on. He brought it back out to Baxendale, who sent in this cross. There were runners in the box. They were able to get on the end of the clearance and go back towards goal. Orange County just needs to keep this up. They've had the momentum in terms of getting forward and having runners and having different options. They're knocking on the door. If they continue this, especially being a man up, good things are going to happen.
Phoenix down to 10 men since the 44th minute. AJ Gray sent off with a red card. Chris Cortez in the 18th minute, the goal scorer, forcing a mistake by Charlie Lyon. Rare for the goalkeeper. It's been so good. This lobbed over the crossbar. About a quarter of an hour to go in the USL Game of the Week on ESPN3. Last time these two teams met, a 1-1 draw. Orange County led early. Phoenix striking in stoppage time through a Didier Drogba 20-plus yard free kick. Turns out Didier Drogba just really likes to score free kicks in the state of California, because the one he had against LA Galaxy 2 was a moonshot as well. Chipped over the top, A-team. As well as Chaplow forward for Orange County. It's Chaplow on the turn now. Oliver skitters all the way across. Somehow this stays in play. So second look. Asua lobbing to the back post, pulled in by Wazinski, who spins down.
The movement in the last 10 or so minutes from Orange County has been different than we had seen the whole entire game in terms of in the final third. It's been so much better. They need to keep it up. They're getting the players forward. They're having movement off the ball. There are options. That's the key, is they've had options.
And Avike away from Lambert, Ariola, both substitutes in the second half for Phoenix Rising. Continuing to charge in, Van Avike has taken over. Contact with Lambert, keeping. And Van Avike recovering again here from Asua. Off of Lambert. Liver cut off by Lambert. Chaplow. And Avike lost the handle. On it again. Maybe a bit of space here. Throw for Asua came out of the decorated Rainbow Academy in Cameroon.
For Orange County, this is one of the things, they have so much time that it's difficult to break down Phoenix, because Phoenix has dropped off the ball. They're very organized. It's difficult to break it down, but they have to take advantage of any little space that they have.
Back heel flick that Gavin clears. And again, an inability to maintain the ball for any length of time. It's tiring defending for as long as Phoenix has defended.
But what Orange County just did by playing the ball back, they're trying to force Phoenix to step out a little bit, because most of the defense Phoenix has done is in their final third, so they're not moving around too much. So Orange County's trying to pull them out to provide more space for themselves to then attack into.
Widening it out. Van Avike, that deflected down, and Vasquez kicks it out. How about a 7th corner for Orange County? Van Avike scored in all 5 preseason matches for Orange County, bursting onto the scene. Van Avike, the 7th corner for Orange County. Can't backstop it at the top of the 18, but do retain possession. Baxendale here. Van Avike will get a second look. This lined across, popped up in the air by Wakasa, punching at the back of the head. Fernandez was Wazinski. And another corner for Orange County.
You have to give props to Phoenix defensively for how they have continued to handle these crosses, these corners. But once again, Orange County has to put one away. When you get this many opportunities, when the service hasn't been incredible, but it hasn't been poor. It's been good enough. The ball's been put into dangerous positions. So someone has to step up for Orange County and put one of these away, because they've had way too many opportunities. They've created the chances. That's what they wanted to do. They did that. But now it's time to add the final piece of that and putting it away.
Osagudu will come out, and Sola Abalaji will come on. It's his first appearance of the year. Orange County peppering shots in. Initial header out. Continuing up the line, Sorto takes a deflection off the top of the net. Another corner, this is a 9th.
But Sorto is lucky to even create anything from that, because his first touch went away from the goal. If he can take his first touch central, it's an easier angle. He'll be able to see more of the field. So to earn a corner there, that was good for them, because that could have been a goal kick on the other side.
Oliver, that ricochets down, chance still, Kobayashi deflecting down, it's the turn, still looking, deflected off of Abalaji, contact in the box, continues on for Orange County. Now back across, Orange County playing Red Rover right now with Phoenix and the goal line. And now play stops. Absolute chaos here, Morgan.
And the ball was put in a dangerous position. It was a poor clearance from Phoenix. Abalaji found himself on the other end of it. Did a nice job. You could see him try to back up, try to hesitate to create a little bit of space, but that Phoenix defense, you just couldn't get through it. They were so tight. Even when they couldn't really see the ball, they did a nice job of just cluttering up the space and filling it so there weren't any opportunities.
'82nd minute. Waves of pressure from Orange County. This through ball. Moving up the right side. Ball across, Abalaji the target. Once upon a time, a first overall pick in the USL First Division draft. 2007. Oliver cutting left. Comes down to Wazinski, who has it now.
For Oliver, the best option is to open up his body and play the ball to the right side, but he couldn't because Jerry Van Avike was so far central. And if he's going to stay central, somebody else has to peel into that space, because that forces this Phoenix back line to shift. It makes them move and allows for more space once again for Orange County. That's their biggest issue right now, is their Phoenix defensively is doing such a good job of making it congested, but Orange County isn't doing a good enough job of forcing them to make space. So isn't doing a good enough job of making Phoenix move, which creates space for Orange County. So that's the biggest issue is defensively, Phoenix is strong right now, but Orange County has to move them and make space for themselves.
Van Avijk. Abalaji. Back off to that far side touchline. Abalaji here, 32 years old, out of Carbondale, Illinois. On the ball again. Sends service, bounces off of Gavin. Phoenix up a goal since the 18th, down a man since the 44th. AJ Gray sent off, a straight red card. Right before halftime, Chris Cortez, the goal scorer. And Avike. Could there be a spot to shoot here? Instead, reversing. Oliver. Attacking the left-hand flank. Oliver lining it up. Oliver, a second look. Time beginning to run out for Orange County. Still 5 minutes to play. They've just continued to attack Phoenix.
And they're doing a nice job of just putting pressure over and over. That ball that came back to Oliver, he was lucky because he didn't hit the first one very well, but he had another chance. Didn't get it on frame. But if Orange County can win this goal kick and build up once again, they're doing a good job of creating chance after chance. So they'll build up once, they have a chance, and they're doing a nice job of keeping the ball in their attacking third, which is something that they needed to do. They're creating multiple chances really off one build-up. So they're able to get more than one look on frame once they get the ball near goal.
Drop pass for Richard Chaplow. Over 300 games played in England. West Brom, Preston North End, Burnley all standing out. Into the corner, sent across, Oliver. Chaplow stepping in front of Asua. Chaplow lining the ball to the back post. It's headed back across. Ball back for A-team, headed out by Ramage. And Sola Abalaji was nearly the man on the spot. The opposite post.
And that was a perfect setup. Abalaji did a nice job of he was able to flip that back. His chest was facing forward, his shoulders facing forward. He's able to pop that back over, back across.
On the service there. It was the 9th corner of the match. Sorto winds it in. He'll get it again. Cross-field pass brought down. Watson out to defend. Pressed into service at outside back. Abalaji cutting it down again, that time for A-team. Kobayashi. Wright Phillips has stripped it away. Cortez racing forward, slip ball. It's the foul in the 87th minute.
If Orange County can move the ball quickly here, that's their best bet because Phoenix has been having 10 men, all 10 of their men, behind the ball pretty much within their own 18. So even though that was an opportunity for Phoenix, their back line is now more stretched than they have been and there's more space.
And Avike reversing. And Avike again, sliding in. It's good from Wright Phillips to break up the initial tack. And Watson back out to Cortez. His first touch leads right back to Orange County. Still pushing forward. Oliver sends it again. Lambert this time on the defense. How many times does Orange County have to pound the rock before it breaks? 10th corner, Oliver. Chaplow. Chaplow sends service. That'll stay in play in the corner. Absolutely stifling right now from Orange County. They've dominated the ball for well over half an hour. Van Eyck. Van Eyck over the top, headed down, it's in! Orange County equalizes! What a debut! Not only for the stadium, but for Sola Abalaji. You couldn't write that script.
The late sub coming in. That back post had been open. Abalaji just finds the bit of space, slips in behind his defender, and is able to redirect it on frame. That has been the biggest issue. Orange County couldn't find the finish. Abalaji, making his debut for the club, is able to fill that role that they needed and tie this one up.
Orange County's got more than a draw on their mind here. Brzezinski's effort for a second shutout of the year is thwarted already.
And Mike, the reason why that is so much more impressive is because Phoenix has had so many defenders behind the ball in such a small space. And it's really hard to get away from any defenders because it's so congested. I've been saying it. But Abalaji was able to find that space and slip that one away.
Chaplow. It's kicked away from A-team. Ricocheting back out to the left-hand side. Numbers streaming forward for Orange County again. This bounces to Wazinski. We're into stoppage time. Three minutes of added time. That board does not carry your number, young man. Sam Hamilton will have to wait. Hamilton, just sent on loan by the Rapids, is waiting to come on. Van Eyck sending it further forward. Service lined across. Nearly another one for Abalaji, who's backing away. It's a corner. Orange County. Sam Hamilton will come on. Blair Gavin will come off. Fresh legs. Blair Gavin taking his time. He played in MLS with Chivas USA in the LA area, native of Scottsdale, Arizona. Drafted in 2010 by Chivas. What you could easily construe as a bit of a homecoming professionally for him. Sam Hamilton will come on. His USL debut. A chance for late game heroics. Oliver headed across by Abalaji. Another second ball. The attack on. For A-team, deflects off of Baxendale. They back Oliver. Laid on the ground. It was Asua. Still time left for Orange County to find a winner. This sent over by Chaplow. Wazinski got enough to keep that out. Now the counter. Could there be another late dagger from Phoenix? It won't be that time. Advantage played. Baxendale continuing on. Up the right-hand wing. Service bouncing. Vasquez headed back. Ramage clears. Hearts pounding. Chaplow deflected by Hamilton. Brought down by Baxendale. Serve to the back post, headed down. And pointing for a goal kick. The minimum stoppage time is out now, but there was a substitution made in this time, and perhaps there's one more look to be had. Orange County coming back from a 1-goal deficit. Cortez in the 18th. Orange County, the beneficiary of a red card by A.J. Gray in the 44th. Continuing to attack this entire half and finally breaking through in the 89th. Full time, a game that had it all for the second consecutive time in Orange County. Phoenix drawing Orange County SC, finishes 1-1. What a match tonight to open the new ballpark.
Mike, and for Orange County in that first half, I said they weren't decisive enough in the final third. The second half, they definitely made up for that and more. That man, Sola Abalaji, came up big, was able to put one away. When it was difficult, the box was packed, but he used his size, found some space, was able to equalize this one in his Orange County debut. My eyes are on the rematch.
It was quite a spirited affair tonight. It's to the edge of playoff contention for both. Neither will move into 8th place, neither coming away with the necessary 3 points. Both with games in hand. Cortez, the initial goal scorer for Orange County. This is now 6 winless, their longest since September 15. Abalaji, the 89th minute equalizer. Pause celebrates. Highlights in a moment. The kind of evening that's certainly going to bring fans back to the new stadium in Orange. Mission Viejo native Chris Cortez, the opening goal in this affair. It finishes 1-1 between Phoenix Rising and Orange County in the United Soccer League Game of the Week on ESPN3. Mike Watts, Morgan Conklin back with you. Let's look at the full-time highlights. And Orange County, a couple of good opportunities in the early going. Wazinski making some good saves. And this is a game that very easily could have turned on what was a rather innocuous back pass. Lyon one heavy touch, and Cortez the finish in the 18th.
And that's exactly what it was. It was Cortez staying with his run, the heavy touch from Lyon. Cortez was able to get there in time to go in for the tackle. And that's all that it was. It was a heavy touch. Cortez continued with his run, and he made something really out of nothing because he didn't have to continue on with that pressure.
Show the kids that film. That's never giving up. Attack here for Phoenix, trying to get upfield. And AJ Gray in the 44th. Is this red card worthy?
Yes, just because of how he went in late, because Osageda was already down on the ground. He didn't mean to. You could tell it on his face, but definitely a red.
So opportunities galore for Orange County in the second half. This in the 59th minute. Ramage heading it away.
Just one of the many opportunities that Orange County had in the second half. Getting in behind, I like the fact that Jerry Van Avike came alive a bit in the second half, especially in that final third.
Phoenix, rare opportunity in the second half. Johnson continuing to drive in and looking for a penalty there.
And I think that looked worse than it did in the final tackle, but this was really Phoenix's only big opportunity in the second half. Johnson using his speed, getting forward, but obviously didn't get the call on that one.
Move forward to the 89th minute. We've never seen Sola Abalaji play in an Orange County uniform, and yet he made a lot of fans tonight.
And a really nice ball set up by Van Avike. Bends it perfectly to that back post, which had happened before. No one had stepped up and finished it. Abalaji beats his defender, finds the space, a nice strong header.
And this in the final seconds.
I love that ball back across, just the one-time volley. Chaplow sends in a nice ball, just a beautiful touchdown. Wazinski's able to get a hand to really push it off of its path.
And in the end, game respects game. Abalaji, the equalizer right before full time. 23-3. Maybe more importantly, 3-3 shots on target. That's not enough from Orange County.
I think that's the bigger thing. Obviously, it's you see 23-3 and it's 69% to 31 possession, but the 23 shots to only 3 on frame just shows that the final bit wasn't there enough. They were able to come away with one, a really nice goal to take out of this game. It's a good result, especially for the opportunities they had for being up a man, but it's a positive to take away from it. Definitely something to work on, though.
A lot of fans there for Chris Cortez. Handshakes, pictures, the goal scorer earning praise. And when you think about how the standings are affected by this final score, Orange County now 29 points, right at the edge of playoff position right now, while Phoenix Rising has 27 points. Two teams with the fewest games played in the league, putting on quite a show tonight. As the goal initial from Chris Cortez, 1-0 in favor of Phoenix. Abalaji the equalizer. For Scott Ferguson, Sharni Yerke, and Jonathan Telliger, Morgan Conklin the analyst, Mike Watts saying so long. 49-63. Saw it. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night from Orange County.